I got 4 o'clock. What do you guys have? We're ready. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call this special meeting of the City of Tullahoma Regional Planning Commission to order. Today is Wednesday the 28th. Begin with calling this meeting to order. We do have a quorum today, Nina, so make sure note that for the minutes, please. We will begin with today's special meeting with Pledge of Allegiance, and I ask that everyone please rise while we do that. We'll get into today's agenda. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today we have unfinished business on the agenda. One item, item A, the convenience store in the corner of Clement Drive and West Side Drive.
I move that we vote for the approval of the site plan as listed in the package.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
All right, I have a motion on the table. I have a second. Larry? So I'm going to hand you the gavel. I'm going to stand down as chairman, and I'll second that motion so we can get the motion out on the table for discussion.
Okay, we have a motion and second to recommend the approval of the site plan as presented in the packet. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
What was the count, Nina?
6-1, with Mr. Comer opposed.
All right, it passes.
Mr. Chairman, we had an action item from last week to have our executive director report out on 2 issues. We have not had a report on those 2 issues.
There you go, still chairman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But we voted and it's passed, so there's no discussion.
So, yeah, there's,
Well, I think you're in violation of the what's called for in the last minute. So if that's the case, then I rise to a point of order that this meeting is out of order because it's not called for the purpose of responding to what was approved by motion in the last meeting.
I think that the questions that were asked of staff were answered by staff.
I have not heard an answer. Am I not a member of this commission?
yes, you are.
And I'd like to have an answer.
Lee?
I've got it. On the question of consistency, the city's comprehensive plan calls for the development, specifically commercial development, at this intersection. So we're consistent with the city's comprehensive plan. There's a question about alcohol separation. There was a city ordinance 1440, which was adopted September 23, 2013, which repealed separation requirements between churches and stores that sell alcohol. There's a question of traffic or DOT concern. We now have from the city engineer the actual traffic count from 2016, which is the last time that TDOT did a survey. There's also presented information from the staff on the Institute of Transportation Engineers as presented in the General Trip Generation Manual, 9th edition, on the average trips. With the comprehensive transportation plan, the transportation plan has the level of service measured at this intersection as a B. So this is the same grading scale of A, B, C, D, or F, with F representing an area that would not be an area for approval. This is a B, so clearly this is an area that meets all requirements. On the building setbacks, both buildings meet all minimum setbacks as required by the zoning ordinance in our table TZ1. Gas pumps and dumpsters do not fit the definition of main building as defined in Article 2 of the zoning ordinance. The zoning classification, on July 24th, 1989, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen conducted a public hearing and voted to pass at first reading ordinance number 990 to rezone the area of Clement Drive and West Side Drive intersection to C2 commercial. Noted in the approved meeting minutes, there was no participation from the audience during the public meeting. Subsequently, on August 14th, 1989, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen adopted ordinance 990 by passing the second reading. So those were the concerns that were brought up to staff during the last meeting. Those have been addressed.
Was that the only ones that's been addressed?
Yes, sir, those are the only ones that
Okay,
were
the
mentioned.
two that I specifically noted have not been addressed, and one is the compliance with the zoning ordinance change in 1989, whether or not that was properly advertised and recorded or not. And second was the drainage issue. And I didn't hear you read anything about either one of those two issues.
I was under the understanding that you asked for the, look at the plan again and then answer the question about the rezoning back in '89. I don't recollect any questions about drainage. This board doesn't approve the stormwater plan. That's up to Public Works for us to hold a permit up for a regulation that we're not given power to issue. We would be under, we'd be going beyond the boundaries of the powers of this board.
Is it not my understanding, I guess I can speak as the chairman, right? Is it not my understanding that you physically went out and measured and laid out the ground to verify the locations of the zoning as it was described in 1989?
I did so. I didn't go out physically though. I measured it on the GIS. It was an approximation. Pretty much what they did when they did do it back in '89 is they based it off the zoning map that was in.
And according to those descriptions, the rezoned property carried up to the right-of-way of the Oak Park Drive. Am I correct? Is that not what we saw?
900 feet.
So that takes away that clears up the 1989 issue. The 1989 issue is now straightened out. It does go all the way to Oak Park Drive.
And how is that resolved? Say that again.
The wording in the zoning was that it was 900 feet from Clement Drive?
No, it was from the corner of the lot that was rezoned at the time. It extended 900 feet on the east side of West Side Drive.
Which took it all the way up to Oak Park Drive, to the right-of-way of Oak Park Drive. No. They measured it off and it did.
Who measured it off?
Lee did.
They didn't do it physically, it did it on GIS.
Well, explain to me again how you've determined that is included in the rezone area properly as advertised in the paper.
Well, I mean, there's an argument of how can you prove that it wasn't.
Well, have you submitted this to the city attorney for his opinion?
No, I have not submitted it to the city attorney.
Well, you asked last time at this meeting to have the city engineer here at this meeting.
I told him that he was supposed to be at the meeting, but then there was a special call meeting. There wasn't enough time or notice to let him know to be here.
And I again make my claim that this meeting is not proper in compliance with a motion that was passed at our last meeting. And in my opinion, the proper due diligence has not been done.
By whom?
By you and your staff.
My staff is not required to do that.
A motion was made and asked.
You asked for a to check into the rezoning and check into the zoning compliance for the site plan, in which we did, and I stand by my statement. I've addressed, they voted already, so I mean, we could talk to the attorney, but sorry, it was a 7-1 or 6-1 vote.
kind of a railroad vote, wasn't it?
That's out of order.
You're not the chairman, so you're out of order.
Well,
Larry, I think we're done.
yeah, at this point we are. The voting's done and the motion carried.
Very good. Thank you.
I'll turn the gavel back over to you, Mr.
Thank you. All right, this time we'll be adjourned. Thank you.